Good morning and welcome to this episode of Whiskey Gas Garage. My name is Chad Scott and I'm your host. And I know what you're thinking. I know I'm the mind reader here. Chad, did you just wake up from your first night of staying in the Lincoln bedroom on top of the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine in Colorado in February when it was 22 degrees outside? The answer is yes. Yes, and I had a ball, and it is warm in here. It was 72 degrees all night long, thanks to my heater. Now I'm plugged into the house and not to the generator. Doesn't matter, it's still electricity. I'm as warm, I'm as snug as a bug in a rug, as my granny used to say. That's what she said. Now, I don't know what it means, but if her rug had bugs, I'm sure she'd have done something about it. She'd have sent Pa out there to kill them. You know how we kill grass? When I was growing up, we put diesel fuel on it because we didn't know there was an environmental impact. Still not sure there is. But we want to welcome you all out to this episode. And I am sure enough just waking up, and it's early Sunday morning. The Catholics, we go to church on Saturday nights when everybody else is out drinking. We're mass drinking. So I wake up Sunday morning and I'm in pretty good shape. I'm feeling pretty good. I've got a little touch of a hangover because we celebrated the first night last night with just a little bit of whiskey. Not a lot of whiskey, just a little bit now, just enough to get us going. But I sure could use a cup of coffee and a little breakfast this morning. But now here's the problem with that. The problem is we ain't got no kitchen. We got a bedroom. We got a living room. We got 2 TVs. Hell, I'm watching Looney Tunes this morning. I'm watching Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner this morning and Daffy Duck. But we don't have a kitchen. So we're going to spend this entire episode building a kitchen inside the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine with kitchen. So downstairs, we're upstairs right now. Downstairs, your whole front of it there is just like the limousine used to be. It's got a bar, most important thing. And then it's got a big long couch. It'll seat a half dozen. And then, of course, we took the couch out in the back because we were going to build a kitchenette there anyway. And we caught it on fire. That seat was on fire. That seat was on fire. But it doesn't mean I blame Madmar Welding. Love me some Madmar Welding. They were the only ones willing to try this, and we caught it on fire. And they're good boys over there. You go to their channel right now. Go see Madmar Welding. So we're going to spend this episode. We're going to build an entire kitchenette. We're going to have a refrigerator. We're going to have a microwave. We're going to have an oven. We're going to have a cooktop. We're going to have a coffee maker, and we're going to have an Instapot, all in our kitchenette down in the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine. And we got to do it this week because on Valentine's Day, I've got a car show. It's being featured at a car show, Cars and Coffee in Longmont, Colorado. Whiskey Gas Garage is the featured YouTuber there, and we're pretty excited about it. So I got to go out this morning and build me a little cut station. I got to cut me some lumber, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all hang in for the ride because it's going to be a good one. Hang in, hang out, and hang on. All right, now that I'm up and had my first 13 cups of coffee, we're going to take a quick look around here. Got me a little cut station built. Got me a little lumber. Got me a little Trex decking. We're going to build our floor, our base for our kitchen outlet. Let's take one quick walk around her here for those of you who hadn't seen her. I'm sure you'll go back to the other episodes. We got the back put on. We got all the electric put in and all the plugs put in for the electric. And yeah, we still got a rocking chair on top because we're going to tell some stories. You know, we like to tell stories. The front cover's all done here. And then as we go around to this side, she's all done too. We've got our ladder mounted so we can climb up on top of this thing whenever we want to. And shoot on the inside. Take a quick look at the bedroom on the inside. Now I've got some stuff still here that we're working on, but we'll get to that in a minute. Y'all just be patient. The inside of it, she's still limousined up. We drank whiskey at her last night, so there's our TV up there, and we've got our divider, and shoot, she's just got everything she needs. But now we're going to go up inside her here. You saw this earlier. We've got the farm charm and a little signage, and we got our America flag blanket, America. Then over here, we've got a chicken, and down here we got another cock. We got cockadoodle too. We got two of them here. There's our heat and air unit, and there's our window going out the back there. So we've got her all pretty much in good shape. We've still got a few things we got to put in here, but we're getting close to her for sure. So as we leave the upstairs and come down into the downstairs, right there's our refrigerator, bigger than Texas. Now I know she's laying on her side, and you're not supposed to lay refrigerators on their side, but if you set them up and leave them for 24 hours, they'll be fine. So all of our refrigerator, our microwave, and all our cooking stuff is going to be red because we need a little color besides black, white, brown, and the other 17 colors. So we're going to have a little red in here. It's all going to be vintage style stuff. Even our microwave and stuff look like it came from the 50s. And then down here where we took the back seat out and we caught the headliner on fire. So we got to fix that. And then back here, we're going to build a platform that goes in an L shape over to that seat there, to the couch. I'm going to call it the couch. It'll L over, and then that door over there, we will permanently lock that door. And then on this side is the side you'll come into, and there'll be a platform right there. And then you'll go in that platform, and then to get into either the downstairs, or you'll step up on our little ledge we're building here, and you can go up to the upstairs. So that's the plan for today, is to get us a platform built, get us a kitchenette working in here, get some electric run to it, get a little water in here. Shoot, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on.
Cheddar's got grease on his boots, name tags, his whiskey, gas, garage. Built a log cabin on a limousine, neighbor said you've gone too far. He smiled, set his wrench down, said watch what this old dream can do. Gonna roll it down Route 66 and give it all away for you. Log cabin limo down 66, red retro kitchen and a chrome front kick. $5 ticket and you're riding in style for the ones who wore that uniform style. We're heading for July, 4th sky so blue. Poverty tour 2026 coming through. Raising up hope with every mile we move.
Well, alrighty then. We cut, we ground, we did other stuff that made sense to some people and not so much to others. Even the dogs approve of it. You can hear them barking in the background. They're excited about the whole thing. So we came in, and remember, we took out our back seat again because it caught fire. And we built a little bench here. So this will be the only door you can come in other than the front two doors. And then in here when you come in, there's your refrigerator. Big as Texas right there. No, we haven't done anything back here yet. We're going to have to put a little carpet back there to hide some stuff. But you can see we've got her plugged up. She's set on 5. Got this on Marketplace for $50 or $75. Or there was dollars involved. Might even been some cents. I don't know. I had to go back twice because I forgot the shelf. And then upstairs, it's got a freezer. And it's nice and cold. Down here, we've got a microwave right there. It's got all the lights and twisties and bellies, and it's 1,000 watts or 700 watts or 50 watts, or it's got some watts. I mean, like what is it? It's a microwave. That's what it is. And then up above it, got this on market. Got that on Marketplace too. Paid $25 at 30. Got this on Marketplace. I think I gave $20 for it, and it was still new in the box, boys. Oh, it's already making flames and all kinds of stuff. So we know it's working. So what we've got going on here is we've got a little coffee maker, but really all I'm going to use that for is a water heater. That's all that's going to be used for, is to heat water. And then on top of it, up here, it's got a cooktop, so the lid comes off, and then up here's a griddle. And then, of course, it's got an oven. You know, it's like a little oven you could make turkeys and hams and whatever you decide you're going to put in an oven. And then, of course, I got my little red Keurig, because I like my Keurig coffee. Now, you could make coffee up here. That's fine, but I like my Keurig coffee. We'll get it in and out pretty quick. And then the only thing missing is my Instapot, and it'll sit in here. And then a little surprise will go back here, for the kitchen. So we've got a couple little things. We've got our big red Gatorade water jug right up there to match our kitchen. We'll haul all our water in it, and it's just as fine as a frog hair. I mean, it's doing exactly what we wanted it to do. So we're gonna keep at it here, keep working on her a little bit. We've got to get her cleaned up. We got to decide what we're gonna do back here, where we got the chicken thing hiding it. The chicken thing's hiding it right now, but it's not always going to be hiding it. So we're gonna get that fixed, and then get a little stuff up here on our ceiling to get it cleaned up. And then, by golly, we'll have a kitchen. We'll have a full kitchenette. Next time we spend the night up in the old Lincoln bedroom, we'll be able to come in here and make us some eggs and toast and bacon and, and a cup of coffee. And then if we need to warm anything up later, we'll have a microwave and we'll be able to store everything. All right, we got all kinds of room in here. I don't know how many cubic feet it is, but it's cubic feet. It's got room for 6 bottles of whiskey, 7 or maybe 8, and then probably a couple of cases of beer, but I don't drink beer. I will if I run out of whiskey. So y'all hang in, hang out, hang on. Look at her, boy. She's coming along. It's Chicken Central up in here.
I'm giving it to you. Hey! He's hanging up diner stools. Checkerboard floor gets nailed right in. Red fridge hums by the dashboard light, jukebox glow on the pine wood trim, hand letters signed by the bay door, saddle up, help a wounded friend. $5, drop it in the coffee can, this crazy ride's their dividend. Log cabin, Lincoln, down 6 to 6, red retro kitchen and a chrome front kick, $5 ticket and you're riding in style for the ones who wore that uniform smile. We're headed for July for skies so blue, poverty tour 2026 coming through, raising up hope with every mile we move. Log cabin limo, I'm giving it to you.
Well, boys and girls, I know we haven't got it detailed and cleaned up or anything like that, but we do need to take a evaluation of how much whiskey we can hold in here when the mood calls for it. And believe me, the mood calls for it, because we have a decanter right there. So there's 1 decanter, there's 2 decanter, 3 decanter, 4 decanters. There's our TV, and it's got a VCR with a VHS player. It might even be a recorder. I don't know, but we're definitely going to watch Battlestar Galactica on Poverty Tour 2026. We got plenty of glasses for company. We've got quality house, old style bourbon. This was given to me by a friend of mine, and I thought initially he was just being a good fella. Turns out it was a gag gift. He gave me some much better whiskey. I think it's $6.99 a fifth. So we're definitely going to drink some of that. I've got it ready to go. We got champagne glasses. And then, just a stripper pole. We don't have a stripper pole, but now I'm getting ideas. We've got another decanter right there. That's 5, 6, 7 decanters for whiskey so far. And shoot, we're not even up into the windows yet. So what I'm saying is we can haul a lot of whiskey. We've got glasses. We've got shot glasses. And then as you go around, we're going to put a little carpet on that back seat to clean it up, a little carpet on that roof to clean it up. But you can see there's our entire kitchenette. We've got to secure it all in and snug it all up and put a little bit of Velcro on it, a little bit of two-sided tape, but it's fine. And that back door opens, but we ain't gonna, because you can't get in that way. And now we've got all along the floor, we've got planking all through the floors now. And, it's not that carpet wasn't fine, but when you have black carpet, it shows every speck of dust from here to Jesus. So we went ahead and put wooden floors in there. That way we can just take our vacuum cleaner and vacuum it up the way we ought to. But, oh, she's looking good. And don't forget, up here, we've still got 2 refrigerators. We got a little cooler right there that holds ice. We've got a big cooler right there that holds ice. And we've got another cooler back here that holds ice. So we've got no shortage of coolers. So every time you think you might need a little ice, don't worry about it. We're going to have plenty. And guess what? It's got a drain in the bottom of them, and they'll just drain underneath it. So when the ice is going, it's gone. We've got rope lights that are turning different colors. Right now they're green, and then they'll go to red, and they'll go to yellow, and they'll go some other colors. There they go to red. And then, of course, as you all know, old Chad just likes to lay down in the limo and look at his sexy self at his mirrored ceiling. Bow, bow, bow. I don't know what you were doing in the late 70s, but that's what I was doing. Not making it, just watching it on Super 8 and VHS and Betamax and Laserdisc. So lots going on in here. We've still got a lot to do, folks. So we're going to get a lot more done on this episode. I just wanted to show you the direction we're going. We've got chicken rugs. I like chickens because they got a big I like me some chickens. Ain't nothing wrong with the chickens in the back seat. If you remember one of the early episodes about when we bought this thing, the first thing we did was take some hot chicks for a ride. Real live chickens. And don't think for a second that I'm not getting all my chickens, all 8 of them, and we're all going for another ride in the back of this thing. Now that we've got some love on it, and we're going to do a little bit more work. So we're going to get this carpet put on the back. We're going to get this ceiling done where the cooking area is, which is really nice that there's no headliner there because it won't absorb all the smells of all the stuff we're cooking and hold it. So we'll get that with some spray-on bed liner, and then we're going to throw up a little bit of carpet and adhesive and glue that on, and we'll be good to go. So y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on. All right, so we've been trying to figure out what we're going to do on this little back wall here where the back seat is no longer there. We all know what happened to it. Don't make me say it. It caught on fire. Anyway, we were trying to figure out what we're going to do to this back seat area. And, I tossed around carpet, and then I thought, well, I've got a bunch of license plates. We could screw those to it because it's got a nice thick rubber backing, to kind of separate the trunk from the inside. And then I got to thinking, I've also got a whole bunch of this cedar planking left over from the Whiskey Gas bus project that we did last year. Odds and ends sizes, I save everything. So I've got, that one piece of wood you've been saving for like 3 years? You're like, I'm going to finally use that, but then you don't. I think I'm actually going to use it. I like the texture. I like doing it maybe all in different sizes, so it looks a little bit random. Plus, with some wood there, you can mount some shelves or you can mount some other stuff back there as we continue on with this project. I might even look at, can we cut out a little hole so I could reach back in there and maybe store groceries in the trunk and be able to access it from the front. I don't know. Seems like that should be possible. Put a little door on it. It's hard to tell. But what I'm thinking is maybe that, but where I've got this Trex decking in here, I don't want 2 different kinds of wood. Not kinds of wood, but colors. It's not going to look good. I'm certainly not going to paint that Trex because it's plastic and it wasn't built for that. But this is a good old cedar. You can paint it, do anything. So I'm thinking maybe I'll paint it the color of the walls up there in the Lincoln Log Cabin luxury living room bedroom. That I think if we paint that green down here, that it'll tie in the top and the bottom, because you know what, we're all about fashion and interior design. Clearly I went with the bright red kitchen, so an interior design thing stuff. So y'all, let's do this. Let's cut a bunch of boards at random lengths and then put them in here. Maybe paint them green first. I don't know. That seems like that might be the way of wisdom. And then we'll put them in here and see how it does. We're waiting on our headliner to come in from the Headliner Jungle website today, so we can cut out parts of the old headliner, put the new headliner in, and be done with that project up there in this. And then we are going to take her to a car show this weekend, but we're not going to be able to take the Redneck Hot Tub Trailer because my hitch won't be here until Monday. So I've got to get the hitch in, and then we'll hook up the Redneck Hot Tub Trailer. But we will get this done. We got to go buy a new little Honda generator for it. Going to get a little 2200, which you could win, folks. You could definitely win it. Right here. Here's how you can win it. You can get your raffle tickets, either Cash App or Venmo, $5 a piece. We're trying to raise $10,000 for the Wounded Warrior Project, and we don't make a nickel. In fact, I think we're going to about $10,000 in this thing. Crazy! By the time we get it all finished, but that's okay. It's just money. We'll make more tomorrow. Y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on.
Chad's grinning ear to ear. Got a white stretch Lincoln Park, been sitting there for years. Says why not stack some freedom right on top of this big old ride. He's building a log cabin on that luxury land yacht's high. Log cabin limousine rolling down Route 66. Poverty Tour 2026. $5 dreams and a long shot wish. Buy a little hope and a gasoline kiss. Log cabin limousine. He's got 2x4s and cedar where the luggage rack should be. Front porch swing above the driver, rocking over I-40. Hand-painted sign on the bumper that you can read from outer space. $5 a raffle ticket, help a hero in this place. He's live on YouTube, waving salt dust in his hair. Facebook stream is shaking, folks are tipping from everywhere. He says I'm giving this thing away, every last plank and chrome door handle. All that cash goes straight to wounded warriors who still carry the battle. Route 66 like a wooden parade. Cabin curtains flutter, flag in the haze, honking as the diners cheer. Chad yells, come on!
All right, so we cut us some cedar planks. They're all somewhere about between 24 and 28 inches. They're just kind of varying heights. We wanted something a little bit random back there. And then we painted them green. Now it's the same green that's up here. It's that really nice sage brush green. We just had some left over from the house when we bought it, and we used it. And then we stapled our chicken towel holder that we got at the Goodwill for 99 cents. And I think I rounded it up to $1 because that's the kind of guy I am. So now we've got our kitchen in red. We've got our decking all back through here and on our floors in the Trex, which is the same color as the deck on top of the roof. And now we've got our just a nice little kind of random barn door stuff looking thing back here, which works out fine. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted something a little bit random and something a little bit cool and someplace to hang our chicken. So we got all those things, and now we're going to get back at it, get this headliner fixed on top up over the refrigerator, and then we'll just about have the inside close to being done. Boys and girls, y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on.
Yo, Chad. Yo, Chad at Whiskey Gas Garage, building a log cabin on top of a white Lincoln limousine. It's the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine, taking it on the poverty tour, 2026, 10, 6 R&9, OBF Shipyard, Old Junk in the Dog, Sinister Motorsports, Gunners the Raj, we toss a corner your tech guy. Yo, Chad at Whiskey Gas Garage, building a log cabin on top of a white Lincoln limousine. It's the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine, taking it on the poverty tour, 2026, 10, Route 66, 109, OBF Shipyard, Old Junk in the Dog, Sinister Motorsports, Gunners the Raj, we toss a corner your tech guy. Yo, Chad at Whiskey Gas Garage, building a log.
Alrighty, so we got our headliner in back here, and she's looking pretty good. I bought that adhesive bed liner or headliner, and used the adhesive, but also did some spray on adhesive. I find that works pretty comes with a little roller tool. You definitely want to use the roller tool, especially if everything's not perfectly even on top of your headliner, and it wasn't on this one because it's a limousine and not everything is even as it should be. So we are going to take an opportunity now. Remember, we've got a car show coming up this weekend, just a couple of days away on Valentine's Day. We've got to head out to the car show, which means, we've not cleaned this thing really since we bought it. We haven't got in and got a good detail on the inside. It needs a good wash and detail and a little bit of undercoating and some things on the outside. So we're going to tackle that. But she's coming along really well. We've got our little coffee station set up. We're going to cook breakfast in here before this episode's over. We got to have a little cooking time. Everybody likes a little cooking time with Chad. So we're going to have that. And guess what? Whiskey's going to be our main ingredient for breakfast. Because like I've always said, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So we'll cook a little breakfast here before too long. But she's coming along, but we need to get her cleaned up. So let's get started on the inside, get a good detail on her, and then we'll move to the outside and we'll get a good washing on her. It's supposed to get up to 57 degrees today. That's warm enough to wash one. And then let's go take her for a drive. I mean, an actual drive where we go more than 20 miles an hour. Y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on.
Yeah. Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine. Started out as a pipe dream. My wife screamed, not another old limo, you don't need more. It only took one stop, that's all I got. Cause I met a guy named Chad at Whiskey Gas Garage, and I heard the word limo and he was all in. He's a dog and old junk and a dog was the shop. Said he knew a guy named Sinester. His mama named him Kevin. Sinester was his motorsport. Said he knew a guy named Gunther. He was also all in. He called his shop Gunners Lingerie. He knew a tech guy named Joel. He worked at OBS Shipyard. Said toss a coin to your tech guy. So I did, and he did. We did it. We built it. You can see it for yourself on the poverty. Pay 2 seats. You can see it for yourself on the roof. 6 to 6. You can see it for yourself on the poverty. 12 routines. You can see it for yourself on the roof. 6 to 6. It's the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine. 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 Yeah. Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine. 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 But after that first guy, they just started showing up. There was Scott at Wandering Iron, Chad at Whiskey Gas, through your average in Norwegian, all Chad, not Chad, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all showed up, they all showed out. They brought all the hardware, and they brought all the hardware, and I brought all the hardware. And it was kind of an assembly line of ridiculousness. And when it was done, we knew we had done it. We knew we had built it, and now we're gonna take it. On the Poverty 2, the Sooty 2, you can see it for yourself. On Route 66, and you can see it for yourself. On the Poverty 2, tour 20, you can see it for yourself. On Route 66. It's the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine. 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 Shit.
Well, you saw we got her clean. That was the first thing. We cleaned the inside. And what I didn't realize is how dirty that inside had gotten. And I'm trying to remember if I cleaned it when I bought it. I'll have to go back and rewatch that episode. That's the only way I'll know for sure. I don't know if I cleaned it up back there or not. But it was filthy. And then I got to thinking, this black stuff kept coming off the windows. I'm like, what in the world? And then I remembered we caught it on fire. And there's probably some soot left over. But boy, it cleaned up nice back there. The windows, all the leather trim on the uppers, and all the leather seats, everything came out looking just phenomenally well. The mirrors on the ceiling, I had no idea how good looking I was until I cleaned the mirrors and realized I'm a lot more better looking than I thought I was. And got those cleaned. The mirrors along the bar are all clean. We cleaned all the carpets. We took some great stuff or good stuff or tough stuff, or there was some stuff, and we cleaned the carpets and got her all cleaned out and cleaned up. Then we washed her up good. And, if you want my advice, I use Dawn and bleach and Fabuloso. Just mix it in there and spray it on. That has to be fine. None of that Barracuda car wash wax, $12, none of that. Whatever's I have on hand is what I wash my cars with. And we got this one cleaned up. We had to get a lot of that white speckle off, so we took a razor blade and cleaned up the outside. Now, she ain't show car clean, but that's a good thing because she ain't no show car. She's just a go car, and we need to go with her. We need to get her out and go. So I just got her cleaned up good enough for Cars and Coffee on Friday. Saturday it is. Valentine's Day is Cars and Coffee. And we're going to go out and explore that and have a lot of fun there in Longmont, Colorado. So y'all come on down to that if you're in northern Colorado, or hell, anywhere in Colorado. You're not, but 6 or 7 hours from the Wyoming line. Come on up to Longmont, Colorado, and do Cars and Coffee. This story time with Chad is brought to you by Cask Strength. Cask Strength Bullet Bourbon. 107 proof, I think, or 11 or 19, or there's some proof. And it's a little hot, to be honest with you. It's the first time I tried it, literally. And it is just a little bit hot. And I'm taking it at room temperature, no ice. Poured it right out of the jar before we got here. But I'll bring some of this on the Poverty Tour 2026 with me. So for story time today, I thought I'd answer a couple of questions that we got on the chat. The other night we did a live, and then some comments have been coming through after my last episode, which, guys, thanks. There's 5,600 views. I mean, for like big YouTubers, that's like the first 15 minutes. For me, that's the most views I've ever had on a video, other than the one I did with Dalton over at Pole Barn Garage. That is the most views I've ever had on a video. So thank you guys so much for that. I sincerely appreciate it. We got a bunch of questions in the comments on that video. Said, we saw that you were a wrestler. And we were a little disturbed by the character in the pink tights. It's okay. It's a little disturbing. His name was Luscious Lenny Lips. I'll let you figure out why. But they said, have you ever wrestled anybody famous? And the fact is, I have. I've wrestled a lot of people that I consider famous. Now, you got to have to go back to the Wayback Machine. I wrestled Reed Flair, which is Ric Flair's son, the one who passed a few years back. I got put in a figure 4 leg lock by Ric Flair. I wrestled Hulk Hogan when he was on his way down back in the Indies. It was a long time ago. But my era of wrestling, you know, it wasn't with the John Cenas and all the guys, the Rocks and the Stone Colds. I was in at the same time with them, but I was never at that level. So, you know, I wrestled Jerry the King Lawler, got beat by him. I'll tell you a story about Jerry the King Lawler. He was running Memphis at the time. This is back in the, you know, sort of the mid 90s. You know, before he went to WWE to do full announcer, he was doing some work up there, but he was running Memphis wrestling back then. And he called me up, and I was living in Kentucky. He goes, Chad, I'd like you to come down, bring Jimmy 2 Times down, do a show for me here in Memphis. Just need you to come in, put this baby face over. He's a country, you know, got a country gimmick. He was my 3rd or 4th big country that I had wrestled in my career. I said, no problem, Jerry. That'd be an honor to come down and work for you. And it really was an honor. I wasn't that big then. So I went down and I worked and did the match. And then when payday came around, he gave me a hot dog. So, and we shook my hand. So it was a handshake and a hot dog. But he invited me back. He said, come back next week. We'd love to have you on TV. And I said, oh, absolutely. And I thought, sure, I would get paid for my 5-hour drive down there, my 5-hour drive back, and my wrestling. Got down there, wrestled the second time, wrestled Handsome Jimmy Valiant. And Handsome Jimmy had just gotten out of jail 2 days earlier for flagrant non-support. And he comes up to me and he goes, Jimmy 2 Times, Handsome Jimmy King. And that's the way he talked all the time, whether he was in gimmick or out of gimmick. He'd say, Jimmy 2 Times, Handsome Jimmy King. Oh, so just get you a couple things in and make me look good. I'm like, I'm going to make you look like $1 million, Handsome Jimmy. So we get in the ring. We work 2 or 3 minutes of, you know, just pre-work, not a lot. And I'm putting him over. He looks like $1 million. And we're at about, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes into the match, and we're getting ready to go home because it's not a squash, but I wasn't getting much heat. So he goes, get you a punch, Jimmy 2 Times. We're all clenched up. So I ran back, and I punched him. And he flew 16 feet across the ring. And he was laying there in the corner going, shaking. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm going to be forever remembered as the man who killed Handsome Jimmy Valiant. So I go back up with him and I shook him up in a big reverse chin lock. I go, you okay, Jimmy? He goes, Handsome Jimmy's selling for you, baby. And he went, oh. A big smile came on my face. I saw it on TV, but he said that and I looked up. I was smiling. Handsome Jimmy's selling for you, baby. And then I took his finisher. I think he poked me in the throat with a pencil. I don't know what his finisher was back then. He was a baby face. I was a heel. And I took the pin 1, 2, 3, and I made him look like $1 million. We got to the back, and he's like, "Hey, Handsome Jimmy wants to work Jimmy 2 Times for the rest of his life." That was the easiest match I've ever had, brother. And I was a super light worker. I was never stiff. I wasn't strong style. I'm a real light worker. And I did work Handsome Jimmy a lot more into the future, even into his 70s. I worked Handsome Jimmy. We worked a Legends match 4 or 5 years ago. But after that match was over, we went up to Lawler and he shook my hand. This time I got 2 hot dogs and a Coke. 2 hot dogs and a Coke. And then he never called me back, which was fine. Memphis Wrestling was kind of on its way down to, they'd become the USWA at that point from the CWA. And if you're a wrestling guy, your gal, exactly what I'm talking about. And the rest of you are like, those are just letters to me. Anyway, so I did get to wrestle, and probably that was one of my favorite matches was Handsome Jimmy Valiant. But Ricky and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, and a lot of those guys were more aligned with my era. Mike Mann, who is a legend, a son of Dale TNT Man, Jimmy Stone, Hitman Tony. A lot of those guys, they were famous. They were famous both around the territories and then regionally. So I had a great time working with them. So that's story time for today. Now, the only thing that we really haven't done with this buggy, and there's some things we're going to have to do. We've got to get this thing out, and we got to get it on something more than around the neighborhood. We've got the upstairs done, the downstairs and the inside's basically done. A few more little things, and we'll get to them. But we got to put a hitch on it on the next episode, and then get the generator all hooked up, and get the redneck hot tub trailer hooked up, and get all that moving. But before we do all that, I've got to know that we can get it up to speed. And I mean, 60, 65. I'm probably going to keep it on the back roads, getting to Poverty Tour, and all of Poverty Tour will be on the back roads because Poverty Tour ends here in Berthoud, Colorado. We were hosting the final party of Poverty Tour here in Berthoud. So I got to get out and test it. I've got to take it for a drive. So I thought I'd run up to Buc-ee's and get some gas, because that'll get me on roads where I can get it up to 65, 70 miles an hour. Plus I need the gas, so I'll take it to Buc-ee's and get some. Plus it's Wednesday. Wednesday's cheap gas day at Buc-ee's for those of you who aren't Buc-ee's aficionados. So I think that's going to be our next step. We're going to take her for a little drive here. We're going to bring you guys right along for it. So y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on. All right, guys. Since this is our first drive, really at speed with all this weight and all this crazy on top of this limousine, I thought I'd take you along. It's about 10 minutes to Buc-ee's, so you guys can just enjoy the ride. We haven't had it up to speed. Edie speed's past, I think, 30 miles an hour since we did it. So we're going to take you guys along for the ride and see how the brakes do. And now I would drive a limousine slow anyway, because the damn thing is huge. It's 30 feet long. I did put an extra 10 pounds of air in all the tires, so I'm running 45 pounds of air in all the tires. Of course, the shocks are all aired up. Now, what you have to remember about a limousine is they were meant to hold 9 people in the back and another person up front. Average weight is whatever the average weight is. It's 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 pounds. And looking at what the axles will hold on these things, we are well within what the weight limit is that I believe it will hold. Now, that being said, we've completely changed the weight distribution. So there is a little more weight on the back. Of course, there would be if there were people sitting in it too. But then we've also added, 3.5 feet of height to this thing, which it's going to change how it turns and how it angles and all those kinds of things. But we're in town. It's stopping fine, other than that big clunk. I'm not sure what that clunk was, but sounds like it could have been it was just one of our little cook units. It was back there. That's the important note. Might want to tie that down. I forgot all about that. That was actually on my list of things to do before we took it on a drive, was to put some 2-sided tape on both sides. And that's that little retro cook unit that was sitting on top of the microwave. So let's see here. We're going to cross this set of railroad tracks. We're in downtown Berthoud, Colorado. You're getting the full view. Big bump right here. Now, we had all kinds of clearance. Let's start there. We had all kinds of clearance on our tires. So I'm not a bit worried about that. And, we weren't even close to rubbing anywhere. Again, we haven't put more weight on it than the thing was built to handle. And as we told you about this car, the front end is a 1997 Lincoln Town Car, and the rear end is a 2003 Lincoln Town Car. And the 10 feet in the middle is of unknown origin. It was built by Tiffany, and I think we had shared with you at some point that Tiffany's now bankrupt and gone because of the California emissions laws. but they were out of California, and they not only built limousines, but they built those armored cars, limousines for foreign dignitaries. Now, they didn't build them for the U.S., but they did build some for foreign countries. So they've got quite a history in what they do. So they know how to build a vehicle. But this one's got it's got coilovers, springs, and airbags in the back. And then on the front, it's got the regular struts, and then it's got airbags on it as well. So it's set up just a little bit different. We're going to get on what's called Route 56. No, it's 10 less than Route 66. But it goes from 40 to 55 to 65 on a 2-lane road. Most of the 2-lane roads in Colorado, for those of you who are from slow places, are 65, and then of course our interstates are 75, 80, 85, depending on which interstates you're on. But boys, we're doing 41 miles an hour as we speak, and it doesn't feel weird, it doesn't feel windy. We just got passed by a big truck that you saw there. It didn't feel like it pushed it over. So far, so good. The only major catastrophe is I've got to bolt down somebody's stopping hard in front of us. We've got plenty of brakes. I think one of the rules will be just don't follow people too close. That may be just a good rule anyway. So we are driving the Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Limousine down Route 56, and we are now doing 45 miles an hour. I'm driving with one hand. I think it's weird that I drive with my left hand because I can't even wipe my own butt with my left hand, but I could drive with it. That's the only one I ever drive with. So now we're doing 50 miles an hour, which would be the fastest we've ever done in it. And there's somebody following really close behind me. He has no idea that we are driving an untested vehicle, and that it'd probably behoove him not to be so close. All right, 60 miles an hour, guys and gals. We're doing 60 miles an hour right now. It's got a little bit more wind noise, and I'm sure you guys can pick that up on the microphone. But it's got just a little bit more wind. Of course it does. It's got a 3-foot brick on top of a limousine. All right, we're about to cross over from 55 to 65 miles an hour here at the Larimer-Weld County line, just so to keep you all knowing exactly where we are. And you'll see a lot of farmland. We live Berthoud, Colorado, the garden spot of Colorado. Now we are at 65 miles an hour. So let's get it up there and see what you'll do. Woo! I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little nervous. I feel it in my chest. Maybe it's like that first time you take your car out and drive it. You know, you think you've done everything you could think of to make sure that it's safe. And there's a lot that went into this. You guys, if you haven't watched all the episodes of the Lincoln Log Cabin, go back and watch them. There's a lot of math and a lot of science and a lot of, an aerospace engineer, literally, that I went to the Coast Guard Academy with back in the 80s, actually did all of the math to tell me what kind of bracketry to build and, how fast we can go and, what the change of the wind will do to the suspension and all that. So, and you can feel it. Now, that being said, it's going down the road just fine. I mean, it is driving absolutely straight down the road. But what you got to remember is this thing is just got, I think, 106,480 miles on it. And it is that 4-stitch forward. So, it's going to run forever. These are 300,000 plus mile motors if you treat them right. Do your maintenance and that kind of stuff. But she's doing just fine. We're at what I would call highway speeds at 65 miles an hour.
Now, would I gamble to go faster? Probably. I'm not going to take it on the interstate because I'm not quite there yet with it. So I'm going to take a little left up here on County Route 7, which is it's kind of it's not a gravel road, but it's like a crush and run road. So the crush and run is kind of it's kind of like old asphalt, but it doesn't throw dust. But it'll give me a chance to take her nice and slow around this curve. Okay, there's a few potholes here, which is good because you got to take it on them. For those of you who were on Poverty Tour with us down Route 66 last year, you'll remember all the potholes that we went through. I'm sure Ray remembers when he tore his oil pan off his LS swap square body. So we're going to make our way on to Bucky's, and then we'll let you guys know as soon as we get there. Y'all hang in, hang out, hang on. Well, if you're wondering if she made it up here, that's a Texas size 10-4, good buddy. The Lincoln Log Cabin Luxury Living Room Limousine with love on its maiden voyage. About 15 mile, however far it is to get up to Bucky's, but we made it up, and we even secured our little cooktop thing in the back, and she's doing just fine. So we're living the good life here. Y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on.
There's a whole lot of buzz about the Folsom Prison Bus and the Lincoln Log Cabin Limousine. It's been all over the news on Facebook and YouTube and every redneck magazine. But there's something else going on down at Whiskey Gas Garage, and it's something that you've never seen. Chad's building a race car from a 1986 Yugo and a Triumph. And when he gets it running right, he's gonna race it in the 24 hours of lemons. And when he takes it to the track, y'all are never gonna look back. And if you're there, you'll have the time of your life, 'cause he's got his own camera crew, and y'all are gonna be on YouTube. If you see a little car passing you by, just remember it's...
I told you we were going to cook some breakfast. It's early morning, and we're in the glow of my giant neon cock right there. Big as Dallas. Neon cock. Yeah. So we're chicken themed. I told you we were going to be chicken themed. We're farm themed, so I thought we'd take a few minutes here, get us a little breakfast rolling, and just see how things went this morning. You know, I've been cooking. We're going to have eggs. We're going to have bacon. And we're going to have biscuits. And I'll tell you what, they're already ready already. I just need to get a little coffee rolling here. I'm a little bit thirsty. I told you at the beginning of this episode, we're going to wake up in the morning at the end of this episode. We're going to make a little coffee. We're going to cook a little breakfast. And we're going to eat. That test drive just went awesome. I couldn't be happier with the overall results of how the old buggy ran. You know, to be not exactly how she came out of the factory twice. To be a Lincoln Town car, remember the front end's of 97, the rear end's of 2003, the middle is of unknown origin. To have all that going for her, she turned out okay. So, let's scoop us up a little breakfast here. Yeah, we've got a little holder for our plates, and it also holds our silverware right there. And guess what? It's got a chicken on it. So you know it's a good one if it's got a chicken on it. So right up here, oh man, look at all that steam coming off of her. Wow, it looks amazing. We've got us some bacon up here that we cooked. We've got us some eggs. Look, a little egg there on it. Even made us some biscuits, cooked some biscuits in our oven. Boys, if that ain't breakfast, I don't know what is. So, get coffee brewing here, and we are good to go. I'll tell you what. You know, this has been a great project, and we're going to wrap this thing up here in a little while, but we still got to get the hitch, of course, put on it. We got to get the redneck hot tub trailer pulling behind it, because what's the use of having a Lincoln Log Cabin land yacht for Poverty Tour 26 if you don't have a redneck hot tub trailer to pull behind it? So, I'll tell you, oh, that's good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it smells like bacon in here. And it smells pretty darn good. The only thing better than cooking bacon in the back of your Lincoln Log Cabin luxury limousine has got to be doing it with a giant neon cock. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Chad, where does one get their very own giant neon cock? And the answer is really quite simple. At the giant neon cock store. Yeah, pretty. Oh, look at that coffee coming out there, boys. She's going to be hot. She's going to be warm. Oh, this is good. Well, I can't wait to see everybody on Poverty Tour 2026. And remember, we're giving this buggy away. If you'd like to own it, you could buy it for $5, or at least buy a raffle ticket. Now, them butt nuggets are fresh. They right out of my chickens this morning. I went to the shed this morning, got me some fresh eggs, because I said the first eggs I cook in my new kitchen are going to be fresh. Oh, wow. I'm not sure if life could get any better. 3 months ago, we drove to Idaho Falls. We bought an old beat-up limo. Not too beat up, but pretty beat up. From Wendy, who was awesome. We drove this thing back. Changed out a couple of coil packs, did a little maintenance on it. And then started to build her. Just had this idea that every log cabin, every Lincoln limousine ought to have a log cabin on it. It has worked out very well. Now, I don't know what y'all do or where you're from, but we like to dip our biscuits in the dippy part of our eggs. Now, I don't know if you have eggs. When I was growing up, we had them done and runny. But my wife, now she grew up in Pittsburgh, she said they had dippy eggs. No. The dippy part may be the best part. Well, I'll tell you what. That's a full cup of coffee right there. Just doesn't get any better than this. Well, that's breakfast. That's breakfast under the neon lights here in the old buggy. I knew we'd get to this point, and I'm so glad we're here. We'll see y'all in just a bit. We're getting ready to go to the car show. Y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on. Well, folks, I believe we're going to leave it right there for this episode. We built a kitchen. We built a deck with all the flooring on the inside. We built a whole thing to put our kitchen on. We built the walls to our kitchen. We hung up a chicken towel with a chicken on it. So, and then by golly, we got it and we drove it to Buc-ee's. Now, I didn't film everything we did at Buc-ee's, but we ended up staying there 45 minutes because people kept coming by going, what is that? We want to see it. I had at least a dozen people go through it, including the entire management team of Buc-ee's. So the executive manager guy brought all his executive manager team out, pulled it right directly in front, and then took a bunch of pictures right in front of it so you could see the Buc-ee's logo. Okay, it's going to get a little attention, I think, which, I hate that. I don't hate that at all. That's why you build something like this. It got all the attention in the world. Everybody wanted to see the Lincoln Log Cabin land yacht, and here it is, bigger than Texas. So we got up to 75 miles an hour on the way home. As you guys saw in the time lapse, we weren't just going really fast, but we were going 75 miles an hour down 56 there at one point. And you can hear it. And when I got up to 75, you could feel it a little bit, but there's not a lot of wind today, so it's hard to tell. But there is a little bit of wind noise, but you would expect it because you've gone up 4 feet. And I've not gone through her and shook her down yet, but I'm gonna get through her and shake her down, make sure we didn't lose anything. But it all looks really good. So gonna call this a huge win. On next week's episode, we're gonna be putting on the, we gotta put on the trailer hitch. And then we got to hook up all the stuff for the redneck hot tub trailer. Got to put our generator in. We'll also give you some footage from the car show from Cars and Coffee in Longmont, where we're being featured this weekend. Remember, if you'd like to buy a raffle ticket, you buy a raffle ticket, $5. We're trying to raise $10,000, guys. We're not even close. We've sold about 100 tickets, so about $500 worth of tickets, but we're trying to raise $10,000. So we want to sell, 2,000 tickets in order to give to the Wounded Warrior Project. It means a lot to us. So if you'd like to win this thing, what I can tell you for sure is it'll do 75 miles an hour. And when you're passed by a semi, you don't feel it. It drives way better than the Whiskey Gas Garage bus. Let me tell you that. I was one finger. I could take my hands off the wheels and go straight down the road, even with all this extra stuff on top. So I can't thank y'all enough for everything you do for us here at Whiskey Gas Garage. Y'all hang in, hang out, and hang on.